Applicant Shelby Madrid with Kimley Horn is requesting a special use permit to allow a fueling station at 675 Kipling Street. The site is located on the northwest corner of the intersection of Kipling Street and the 6th Avenue frontage road. The slide presented here depicts the aerial view of the subject location. The site boundary is highlighted in yellow. To the west of the site is a large solar installation. A hotel is to the north. West 6th Avenue frontage road is to the south, and several office buildings are across Kipling Street to the east. The applicant intends to retain an access point to Kipling Street and proposes to lease a portion of the state-owned property to the south for a secondary access point to the 6th Avenue frontage road. There is a existing fueling station on the opposite side of Kipling Street that is within 1,000 feet. It is Zone CR Commercial Regional, as indicated by the red on the zoning map. The property is surrounded by similar CR zoning with mixed-use employment suburban MES across Kipling Street. Presented here depicts the 1,000-foot buffer required by the supplemental standards of Article 4 to determine whether the proposed fueling station use is located within 1,000 feet of an existing fueling station. As you can see, the site of the proposed special use permit is within 1,000 feet of another fueling station use at 722 Kipling Street, which is located on the opposite side of Kipling Street. A median is currently being constructed by the city that will prevent clear and simple access to this proposed fueling station for northbound traffic on Kipling Street. There is also double yellow stripes currently in place that limit southbound traffic from accessing the fueling station at 722 Kipling Street. The applicant is proposing to redevelop the 2.65-acre site to accommodate a fueling station and restaurant to-go kitchen use. Proposed site development will include the removal of all existing asphalt improvements and the subsequent redevelopment of the site in accordance with applicable development standards. The slide presented here is the applicant's conceptual land use plan, which includes details such as access points, building and canopy locations, parking, and required public improvements. As prescribed by Article 2 of the Lakewood Zoning Ordinance, a special use permit request shall follow the procedure for review and notification as presented here. The review procedure includes a pre-planning application, followed by a neighborhood meeting to solicit and gather feedback on the proposal from neighbors and community stakeholders. A formal application may then be submitted, staff and director review and determination, and finally, a public hearing with the Planning Commission noticed in accordance with the Lakewood Zoning Ordinance standards. A neighborhood meeting was held on April 11, 2023 to engage surrounding property owners, tenants, and stakeholders regarding the proposed fueling station use. One attendee was present virtually. The conversation in question surrounded the proposed secondary access to the 6th Avenue frontage road, highlighting that the intersection at the frontage road and Kipling Street is already dangerous, and this access may cause more accidents, as vehicles heading northbound from the westbound 6th Avenue exit ramp need to cross over the Kipling Street lanes to get to the left-hand turn lane to access this proposed fueling station from the frontage road. Overall, the applicant did not receive significant opposition. Article 4 of the Lakewood Zoning Ordinance sets forth additional supplemental standards for certain uses. These regulations recognize that certain use types have characteristics that require additional controls to protect public health, safety, and welfare. Staff finds that the applicant has demonstrated that the proposed use depicts conformance to these supplemental standards associated with the fueling station use in the Commercial Regional Zone District. 1, the pump canopy shall match the architectural style of the convenience store or service kiosk associated with the facility in terms of color, facing materials, and roof pitch. This is as depicted with the conceptual land use plan. 2, a pump canopy shall not exceed 20 feet in height for a parapet roof. A pitched roof element may extend above the height limit. They are proposing a parapet roof as depicted with the conceptual land use plan. Landscaping or a low screen wall to a minimum height of 42 inches and maximum height of 48 inches shall be provided on the property adjacent to all public streets in front of the pump canopy, except at access drive locations. This will be required and reviewed with the major site plan submittal if this SUP is approved. 4. Service bay door shall not face an adjacent residential zone district unless there is a building between the service bay doors and the residential zone district. There are no service bays associated with this proposed fueling station. The proposed fueling station is located to the east of the U.S. Frontage Road Community Activity Area. The community activity areas are areas identified in the comprehensive plan that have been planned and zoned primarily for higher density employment and retail growth. The existing structures within this area to the west of the subject property are larger buildings with several furniture retailers and motor vehicle dealerships. This fueling station proposes a retail, restaurant, convenience component that provides amenities for the surrounding neighborhood and patrons of the larger retailers in the community activity area to the west. The mix of proposed services and site improvements is consistent and complementary with the future land use goals contained in the comprehensive plan. The applicant is also proposing for this project to include electric vehicle charging stations. The inclusion of the electric vehicle charging stations supports goal T2 of the City of Lakewood Sustainability Plan, which is to foster sustainable transportation choices in Lakewood through the objective of promoting alternative fuel vehicles and fuel efficiency. This fueling station will also meet the applicable Article 7 design standards and all other zoning and regulatory requirements of the city. These will be reviewed for compliance with the major site plan review if the SUP is approved. Notification is required when a formal application for a special use permit is presented to the Planning Commission. Written notice was sent to 47 tenants and owners of property and 5 registered neighborhood organizations. Notice signs were posted on the property. Referral reviews were sent to utility providers in West Metro Fire Protection District. No objections were received. Staff's finding of fact and order are as follows. The applicant is requesting approval of a special use permit. Notice requirements have been satisfied. The request was reviewed by appropriate referral agencies, and the proposed special use meets the applicable review criteria. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the findings of fact and order as presented in the staff report and approve case SU23-0002 for fueling station use at 675 Gilling Street. Thank you for your time. The Planning Commission public hearing will be held in the City Council chambers at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, January 17th. You may also attend and provide comments online via lakewoodspeaks.org.